How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Green Dream Project. Now we're out here just trying to work on our home, trying to work on our root cellar. Then out of nowhere, we start getting harassed. What are we gonna do about this? Let's talk about it. This is it, course number 11. How you feeling, girl?
Good.
You ready to get it done? It's gonna be a nice, cool day out today. Nice little cloud covering. It's gonna be a beautiful day to get things done. We're gonna try and get course number 11 done. Maybe 6 more courses to get this done. You ready? Oh, let's do it! Man, you can't reach that. You can't reach that. you almost did. Now what you see here, we're trying something a little new. We've noticed that since we're putting the stairs in, it's actually increasing the height of the bags a little bit. I mean, it makes sense, right? Put a board underneath there, the bag's gonna be a little higher than other areas that don't have boards under it. So what she's done here is filled the bag about half full and then scooted the dirt around. Hopefully this will even out the bags in the long run. Something we're trying out. I think it'll work well. So here's an example of these flatter bags. We got several of them now in a row, and I think this will work really nice to help level things off. Bag popped open.
What?
Yeah, right out of the corner.
There's a hole cut in there. What's that?
You're sabotaged. Look at this, when a girl has to do her own dirt work. Hey, where's your helper? Unbelievable. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You get some by a harvester, did you? Oh, right in your hand? How did it get in your glove? Still in there?
I don't know.
Got a little sting, huh? Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Dang. Here she comes to start the day. Course number 12. The Dirty Dozen.
Keeping my gloves in the bag this time.
Oh yeah, because of the ants, eh?
Yep.
You don't put it on the ground.
Do not put gloves on the ground.
Not here anyway. Look at this. She's armoring up against the Broby. Sorry you had to deal with all that. Can you explain the new Earthbag building outfit? Why are you all decked out like that?
This is crazy. So we've been having problems kind of off and on with bees attacking us. Today was bad.
Today was bad.
So I'm wearing this. This is not comfortable at all.
You mean you'd prefer not doing Earthbag building in 90-degree weather in your bee suit?
But it's got to get done somehow. So it's got me thinking about what to do with the bees. You know, we can't have them attacking us unprovoked while we're trying to build a house.
Maybe they love us because we're too sweet.
Okay.
Now Jess is all decked out over there. She's a little freaked out. I'm a little freaked out because I actually got stung. Back of the neck. So I was over there just innocently getting some water. That's when the bee first started coming around. Started just smacking into me, smacking into the IBC tote. It was just everywhere. Finally, I get back, I'm just shoveling dirt, minding my own business. Comes after me again, this time right over here by the pile. Now this next time I go running, I get away. But I go back out digging, comes back again. This time when I try getting away, tagged me in the back of the neck. It was determined to get me that time. So I've definitely been a little hesitant on being out here. She's like, if you're gonna be out here, because I wasn't wearing all black shirts, she's like, if you're gonna be out here, put on something a little lighter. So I'm going with Link, Breath of the Wild. If that bee comes back, I gotta protect her. So quite the predicament. So we literally just finished course number 12 and we had to do a little bit under duress.
It was hard to even get the course done because they kept coming and dive bombing us, and then we'd have to stop and run inside so we didn't get stung. It took a long time to just finish the course, and it was kind of scary.
But it's quite the situation. We're gonna have to take a step back from the build a little bit, just a little bit, and just kind of assess the situation with the bees.
The way that we got into beekeeping was kind of almost by accident. And our first encounter with honeybees out here was, I guess I would describe it as being terrifying yet magical. This wild swarm decided to start a hive under our shed. And
sounds magical, doesn't it?
we had to get up close and personal with these bees. And it was scary because we didn't have any experience with that. Knowing that we live in an area that has Africanized bees, it was frightening. But the more we worked with them and the more we learned about them, I really grew to appreciate honeybees so much. You know, they're really amazing creatures. It's been a roller coaster ride for me emotionally because I started out being afraid of them. So an exterminator came, sprayed them with poison, sealed up entrances to their hive, and yet they found a way to survive. They found a new way in to the hive. They were able to requeen. We were able to successfully take them out. We moved them and they lived there for a while, but they didn't make it through the whole winter. That was a little difficult, but then we got a second chance. A wild swarm came in and it just moved right into the hive. So that was really exciting for us. And now we're having this problem with the bees.
And again, because this is a wild swarm, the chances are likely they could have some Africanized genes and then they could be a bit more aggressive. They're definitely showing traits that we just wouldn't normally see in other beehives.
Everything that I've read and heard from other beekeepers who work with the European varieties, you know, bees aren't gonna chase you hundreds of feet away from their hive or attack you, you know, if they're just out foraging away from the rest of the colony. They're just not supposed to be that defensive. And that's what we're seeing here. So that's a telltale sign of an Africanized hive. But I know there's other reasons why they're being so defensive. Partly it's my fault, it's mismanagement, and partly it's environmental stressors. You know, we've been really busy with this build and everything else that's going on with the homestead. So I have not been doing hive inspections, and the bees don't have the full length of the hive to build out their comb. We have a follower board in there kind of restricting the space. So most likely they're overcrowded in there.
It's getting late in the season.
Yeah, it's like late summer, early fall here. Most beekeepers know that during this time of year, bees tend to get cranky. They have larger populations around this time. Also,
Lack of food.
well, this year for us has been kind of dry and not the amount of flowers. And the bees are preparing for winter, so that's probably a cause for anxiety for them. And it's been hot here. It's been a really hot, dry summer.
You'd get cranky too, wouldn't you? Hot, dry, no food. Psh, who's to blame them?
And we don't know exactly all of the possible predators that might be harassing them. You know, there could be lots of different factors that are kind of making them extra cranky. But the Africanized bees, potentially it can be very dangerous. It can be deadly.
You definitely got to take that seriously, and especially around here in the Southwest. So, what would you like to see? What would you like to do going forward on this?
What I'd like to try is, first of all, make sure that their needs are being met. Like to give them the space that they need, make sure that they have enough food, and I think I'd like to requeen the hive.
Really? That's gutsy. We ain't never done anything like that before.
And it's terrifying, the thought of that. So I've been making plans on how to do that safely and doing a lot of research. I think I'm going to get a European queen. I've heard of beekeepers doing this, and it helps the general bee population. These bees, you know, they swarm more often than the European bees, so they're spreading those Africanized genes a lot more. If we can introduce genes that have a little more docile traits, it might be a lot safer for just people in the area in general.
Trying to look out for the neighbors too.
That's my hope anyway.
So you're just trying to cover all your bases, make sure they're getting more food, make sure you give them more space, and then possibly introduce a new queen to make them docile not only for our betterment, but also for any surrounding people.
Yep, and then I'll just have to make it a point and make the time to check in on the bees, check on their health, and see how they're doing.
Let me say, this woman always puts her heart and soul into everything she does, and the bees are no exception. Once she took it upon herself to get into beekeeping, she's definitely taking all this personal. This whole experience has definitely worn on her.
And we had a long discussion about this, like, is beekeeping something we are really going to be serious about? Because we have to find a way to do it that is going to work for us. We have to be able to work on our homestead, be out here safely, and make it a place that's safe for the bees too.
Well, the build's going to continue. We're going to work on the hive, trying to get that settled. But meanwhile, we still got to work on this build, so we are going to have our hands full. So stick around because you got to see how this all turns out. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next video, everyone.